Hi Theory 3. This is lesson 21, and we are continuing on with talking about, our scales, and then what is the tonic, subdominant, and dominant. So just a quick review is, remember the tonic is the first note of the scale, okay? And then dominant is always the fifth note of the scale. Now, that fifth note changes depending on your scale, but always the fifth note of the scale is the dominant, okay? Then, subdominant. The subdominant is the fourth note of the scale. Now, it's called the subdominant because it's 5 notes under the tonic. So sub, that word that like submarine, under water, okay? So sub, it's 5 notes, the dominant, 5 notes under. Now 5 notes below the tonic happens to be the fourth note of the scale, okay? But it's called the subdominant because it is 5 notes under the tonic. Okay, so look at, that's review from what we talked about last week. Look at the very first page. Here's the D scale, okay? What I want you to do first is write in all the letters for the D scale. Now, pay attention to the sharps and flats. How many sharps do you have in the key of D? And then if there's a sharp next to that note, you need to write that letter. So like you have F sharp and C sharp. So wherever F sharp and C sharp are, don't just write F and C, write F sharp or C sharp. Okay. Then mark the half steps with a slur. Where are the half steps in the D scale? Between what 2 notes? Okay, you're going to mark that. Then, question 3. What note is tonic in the D scale? Question 4. What note is dominant in the D scale? I even numbered them for you at the top, so you should be able to figure that out fairly easily. What note is subdominant? Then question 5, what note is dominant of the D scale? The D scale, number 6, the D scale half steps are between scale degree. I'm looking for numbers there. What number of the scale, as you're counting the notes, we call those scale degrees. So the first note is the scale degree 1, second note scale degree 2. What numbers are they between, the half steps between? Okay, then the next one, A major. Do the same thing. Write in the notes, pay attention to the sharps. What note is tonic? Oh, mark the half steps with a slur. Then, what note is tonic? What note is subdominant? What note is dominant in the A scale? Okay, and then the A scale half steps are between scale degree, what numbers? Okay. Now, on page 2, I'm giving you an extra step in here, okay? So if you remember back probably several weeks ago, we talked about the major scales, okay? So we have begin, whole, whole, half, then whole, 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 half, right? And that's how we build one. Okay, so for the E scale here at the top of the page, we have not talked about this key signature. So I need you to figure out the key signature. So I'm adding another step before we do the steps that we did on page 1, okay? So let's walk through this. Write in the letters under each note of the E scale. Okay, now there are no sharps or flats written there, so we've got to find them. So write in the letters. Mark what notes are a half step. Now, half steps are always between note 3 and 4 and 7 and 8, okay? It doesn't matter what key you're in, they're always between 3 and 4 and 7 and 8. So on that question, you should have the same numbers every time. Notes 3 and 4, 7 and 8, okay? Then number 3, here we go. Using the pattern for the major scale, and then I give it to you. We worked hard when we worked hard, right? Draw in the sharps. So starting on E, we need now a whole step between E and F. Is that a whole step? Let's work it together. E to F. Is that a whole step? No. So I need to make the second note F sharp in order to make E to F a whole step, okay? So draw a sharp on the left side of the note. So we've got E to F sharp. Now I need another whole step. We worked, okay? So F sharp to G, half step or whole step? Half step. So now I need to add a sharp, so I need a G sharp, okay? So write a sharp on the left side of G. So here's our first note, tonic, then we worked. Now I need a half step between G sharp and A. Is G sharp to A, is that a half step? Yes, it is. So don't do anything to A. Leave it as it is. Okay, A to B, I need that to be a whole step. Is A to B a whole step? Yes, leave it as it is. B to C, I need that to be a whole step. Is that a whole step? No. So now I need to add a sharp to the C to make it B to C sharp. Draw a sharp on the left side of note C. Okay, so now I'm at C sharp. C sharp to D, I need a whole step. Is this a whole step? C sharp to D. It is not. So I need D to be a sharp, D sharp, so I can have a whole step. So add a sharp next to D on the left side. Don't put it on the right side. Left side of the note. Same line or space as the note, okay? D sharp to E, I need that to be a half step. Is D sharp to E a half step? Yes, so leave it as it is. Okay, now, question number 4. What notes are sharped in the key of E? So write the letters that we said are sharped on that line. Then, I should have put this in your list of things to do, but add those sharps. If you drew a sharp, write that sharp by the letter so that you remember, okay? What note is tonic in the key of E, or in the E scale? What note is subdominant in the E scale? So go up to note 4. What note is dominant in the E scale? Remember, dominant means 5. Go to note 5. What note is dominant in the E scale? And then this is the one that earlier I told you it's always the same, okay? Do you remember what it was? If you need to, back up the video and listen again. The E scale half steps are between scale degrees, number. I'm looking for what number of note that is. Blank, and then blank and blank. There's 2 half steps, and what are the 2 notes that they match there? Okay, that's the first one. Now I need you to do the same thing with the key of B right below that. Write the letters, then the hardest and the step that everybody, all my students like to rush through and skip or to just try to get it done, and this is the one you need to take the time on, is whole step, half step. Go note by note and then add your sharps in so that way you can get the right key signature, okay? Then answer the questions. What notes are sharped in the key of B? Okay, that is lesson 21 for this week. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'm always available by email or text message, or if you see me at group class around Centenary, ask. I really want you to understand this. This isn't for school. You're not going to grade. It's more important that you understand it because it'll start to help you understand the music that you're playing in class and in your lesson. Okay? Have a great week. I'll see you guys next week.